That's why we have to have summits to talk about how we make sure we can overcome injustice and racism wherever it rears its ugly head.
And at the end of the day, we have to remember that this is the issue that affects all of us.
Truth. I hope America starts living in that truth.
America is a weight on our shoulders.
Breonna Taylor's life was no more, and they only got charged for the neighbors next door. But would it make a difference if her hair was blonde?
Everyone should have the same type of justice.
That's why you got to make sure you have elected officials who are sensitive to the needs of the people who elect them. We don't work for you, you work for us. You represent us. You are an extension of us.
But at the end of the day, your vote is powerful. It's the most powerful weapon that we have that's nonviolent, and it changes things.
And welcome to an Isaiah Factor Uncensored special as we look back at an inaugural social justice summit that was meant to educate and support the fight for equal justice in this country. Now, the Factor team traveled to New York City to give you at home an exclusive look at the first of its kind gathering. Over 2,000 people stood in line in New York City to not only get a message, but to also find a direction in their pursuit of social justice. Their starting point, at least for some, was the United Justice Coalition Summit. It was put on by rap legend Jay-Z's entertainment companies Roc Nation and Team Rock. But this event wasn't about the next hot rap song.
Hell is not being represented adequately when a judge assigns you a 10 to 15 year sentence when a person not your color got hit on the back of the hand and sent home with parole. That's what hell is to us. We've got to fight against that.
The event was about the day-to-day struggles for those who have failed to find fair and equitable division of resources, opportunities, and the same privileges as others in society. The free event offered hours of dialogue from the nation's leaders in criminal justice reform. Nearly 50 organizations were also on hand, giving step-by-step direction to attendees on how to make impactful, long-lasting change. Those in the audience also heard from mothers who lost sons at the hands of law enforcement officers. All in all, it was a day filled with emotion, empowerment, and most of all, hope. Now, one of the most powerful discussions to grip the audience was when the families of men killed at the hands of police all shared how their tragedies have changed them. You know their names and faces by now. George Floyd, Eric Garner, Antoine Rose, and Botham Jean. All black men killed by police in this country. Their families were front and center in New York, sharing their stories and their pain. Eric Garner's mother. Eric was killed by a New York City police officer back in 2014 when he was put in a chokehold. Police were called because he was selling cigarettes on the street.
Although I know it's important because we have to keep the story out there, I know it's important for them to keep showing the video, but I do ask when they are ready to show the video to make sure I'm not in the room or my back is to the video because I just can't look at it.
These women have formed a coalition of sorts. They share their loved ones' stories, and as often as they can, they're all together doing it on panels and plenaries around the country.
With these sisters here, they are the brace, the backbone. When we get ready to talk to each other, we understand.
They know their personal tragedies could help another mother, sister, father, a brother out there. Those who could also lose a loved one at any time by the bullet of a law enforcement officer.
That unfortunately it was my son, but it could be anybody's son. Because Antoine wasn't a street kid. He didn't hang out. He was a good kid, well-educated kid, a versatile kid, and it happened to my kid. So if it happened to my kid, it could happen to anybody's kid. They're killing us all, no exceptions.
Many still to this day can't quite understand how Botham Jean was killed at home in Dallas when an off-duty police officer walks into his apartment, then shoots and kills him. That officer has since been convicted. But it's a reminder how life throws deadly curveballs at us.
I would never think that would happen to my brother. When I spoke to my brother on September 6th, right up to when he got into his apartment. I didn't know it was the last time he would speak. So I would tell anyone, we all have to be prepared, sadly, because it could happen. If it could happen to both of them in his own apartment, eating ice cream, minding his business, it could happen to anyone.
Meanwhile, the women say the UJC summit is a push in the right direction when it comes to addressing social injustices in this country. It will provide a roadmap for those who are looking for ways to bring about a change.
Definitely. I think it's a start. I mean, we have a lot of people, I know for even my coworkers, a lot of them want to get involved and they just don't know how. So here we have a summit where we bring all the information to you, so you are armed with information to go out there and do the work that needs to get done.
Antoine Rose's mom says the worst thing the public can do is absolutely nothing, because there's a price to pay with inaction.
Listen, they are killing us with immunity and no impunity. I mean, they got immunity to do this. Something got to give. That's right. Something, like if we don't get together and do something, this is going to keep on happening. You can do anything that you name, but here's the first thing. We got to get out there and vote, and we got to demand that the people that we put in office do as they said they were going to do. And if they don't, we got to vote them out of office and get somebody new in there. Whatever it takes to change these laws and get people in office that are going to support the laws that we think should be put in place is what we have to do.
There's a little boy named Terrence Jr. Terrence's 10-year-old son. And Dr. King, I too have a dream like your dad, that one day Terrence Jr. will be able to walk outside free, that he'll be able to play with a toy gun and not be executed like Tamir Rice, that he'll be able to just run in a neighborhood and not be executed like Ahmaud Arbery, that he'll be able to just sit on his sofa and eat a bowl of ice cream and not be killed like Botham Jean. That is the dream that I have for Terrence Jr.
Now, those women are really showing the world what it looks like to turn pain and anger into activism. Still ahead, our exclusive interviews continue as I ask the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr. what her father would think of America today. Rapper Yo Gotti talks about helping prisoners in Mississippi. The family of George Floyd will also join us. And even the San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich was in New York talking social justice. So stay with us. We've got a packed hour ahead.